This is
SchlockFest.
I'm your host, Ray McGuff.
And I'm Jean-Paul Mantilla. And today we have a guest.
We have a special guest. Guest, could you say your name?
Mike.
You're going to have to talk a little louder.
Oh. Mike. Oh, okay. There we go.
Too loud.
Oh.
And you go by the stage name Mikey G. You're a famous comedian.
I certainly am.
That's right.
I mean, only to those who hang out at truck stops.
and strip clubs.
And
he opens for a lot of strippers.
Yep.
We found him at the local pole.
Who doesn't open for a lot of strippers?
That's right.
But today we're gonna do our holiday special, and he's joining us. He's drinking a little brewski there.
Yes, it's the way I get into the holiday spirit.
That's right.
It is holiday cheer in a
He's
can.
pre-gaming 14 days early.
Oh, well,
Why not?
Yeah.
And I have a surprise and a wonderful, wonderful. I mean, I know we talked about it before, but we are going to do the holiday classic, Santa Sleigh.
When you say holiday classic, and that seems to me like the loosest term possible. Like,
I mean,
classic in the sense of the word of this may have been made at for the holidays.
It came out in December of 2005 in a wonderful format called DVD.
Oh, DVD.
What's one of those?
It's a DVD-A. You put it in your system and it plays for you.
Dividal?
Diva.
Dividal?
Dividal.
Is that what they did before Netflix? You people are so old.
Yes, yes, it is before Netflix. You can't even find this wonderful holiday classic on Netflix. But if you go through a YouTube search, maybe you find it.
So wait a minute. You're telling me that if I had a disc of this and I played it, people wouldn't know that I masturbated?
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
fair enough.
So Santa
enough.
Sleigh, it's a wonderful, wonderful film with ex-wonderful wrestler. And apparently he's come back. He's wrestling again.
Oh, good.
Bill Goldberg.
I was just thinking the other day, where has Bill Goldberg been?
Well, he's in Santa Sleigh.
Ugh.
This was the wonderful thing he decided to do after he originally left wrestling.
So wait, he quit making millions of dollars to do this?
Yes, that's exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
Just
and-
getting that good life choice.
And this movie is directed by a little-known director, David Steeman.
David Steeman.
And he was an assistant to Brett Ratner. And that's how this movie was made.
And he deserves to make a movie if he had to be an assistant to Brett Ratner.
Well, you know, Brett Ratner, come on. He made that wonderful Superman movie that killed Superman for a while. Oh, wait, no. X-Men. He did X-Men. Oh, wait, that killed X-Men too. Well, you know, at least we have Santa Sleigh with like I said, with Goldberg.
But didn't he also sexually assault a bunch of women?
I mean, that's not
Who
proven.
in Hollywood hasn't?
That is not proven yet.
Hey,
But, you know, it's all right.
That's not proven yet. I like that you're like,
Well, I mean,
aha!
it's alleged. It's alleged.
first of all, people have to remember who Brett Ratner is.
That's true.
And then whether or not it's relevant on whether or not
That's
he's
right.
sexually harassed
Hey,
anyone.
And
people love the Rush Hour movies, 1 and 2.
And I see Saul Rubinek, who's one of my favorite character actors in it. He was in True Romance.
Yeah.
I fucking love this dude. How does he always get, though, in these, like, shitty DVD movies? Like, he should be in fucking top-notch films all the time.
This is a top-notch film. You know who else is in this movie?
Who?
Good old Dave Thomas. Not the Wendy's.
Not the Wendy's guy, but actor Dave Thomas.
That's
But
right.
it'd be more impressive if it was the Wendy's guy because he only appeared in hamburger commercials.
That's right.
So like
And good old Robert Culp.
Robert
who,
Culp.
you know, people know from The Greatest American Hero.
I do. I am a fan of his.
Yeah. And Douglas Smith, who was in that show with Tom Hanks.
That
And
show with Tom Hanks.
yeah.
that clears it up.
And
Yeah.
him and all his women. What was that show? Big Love. He was one of the sons in Big Love.
Tom Hanks wasn't in Big Love.
Yes, he was.
Bill Paxton.
And Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks wasn't in Big Love.
Oh, I'm sorry. He created it.
Okay.
Close enough.
But he wasn't in it.
Hey. Comment below how stupid we are again.
Well, hey, I see Rebecca Gayheart's in this.
And Rebecca Gayheart.
you know the best thing about her?
90210.
Well, beside her 90210 appearances, is that her eyes are so far apart that she can literally see, like, time and space enveloping.
Well, that's why in 90210 they made her blind.
Oh.
Not deaf.
Is that
but
like
just blind.
ironic?
Yeah,
it's a little.
Is that like an ironic thing?
Irony.
Yeah. Hey,
I think she sold me car insurance.
maybe. Hey, Chris Kattan. good old Chris Caan.
I feel like if you were in a room with her and she was selling you car insurance, you'd have to keep going. Hey,
Hey, over here. Yep, and
Chris Caan.
Hey,
Jesus.
Classically trained actress Fran Drescher.
Oh man, sold.
What's fantastic about Chris Caan being in this is actually the height of his popularity when this movie was made.
It is in
2005,
fact, the height of his popularity.
They actually called that Catan 05.
Yes. Yes. And I will tell you a little interesting fact. So the character of Chris Caan in this movie, his name is Jason Mason. And can you guys tell me what Fran Drescher's character name is?
Virginia Mason?
Virginia Mason. So I'll just let you ponder that for a bit while we watch this movie.
So she's supposed to be his mom?
Well, you'll see.
Or they boning. I think they're boning.
You're going to see some fun
do
stuff.
Do I get to see some Chris Caan?
Maybe.
I imagine he's just like, done.
But hey, but the wonderful best actor in this movie.
Yeah, this is crazy to me.
James Caan.
How does Sonny Corleone go? How does he go from that to direct-to-DVD movies where they're using his picture on the page from the days when he was on
That's what I'm saying. It's like the 19...
Again, who produced this movie? Brett Ratner. He's got something on all of these people.
Yeah, he's touched them all in naughty places, allegedly.
These are all people that don't want to file suit.
Apparently.
They like the parties.
So, without further ado, we're going to enjoy Santa's Sleigh.
Real quick, do you have a budget there for this?
That's the wonderful thing. Could not find a single amount of budget on this.
No shit.
Because it's a straight-to-DVD movie, and they don't report those budgets.
But they did report how much it made?
They did not.
Wow.
I can also tell you, there are some reviews on Rotten Tomato.
They're still doing it.
And they're not good.
They're not good.
They're not good.
Well, according to this, it has 5.4 stars, which means it's going to be better than exactly half of the movies you've ever seen in your life.
At least.
So I guess then that takes all of our shit that we normally do. So
exactly. But there's one thing I do. One fun fact.
Okay, go.
Fun fact that most people don't know. Good old Goldberg met his wife in this movie. And I will point it out later and tell you where that scene is.
Was it Rebecca Gayheart?
It is not Rebecca Gayheart. And it's not Fran Drescher.
Is it Chris Caan?
It's not Chris Caan.
It's Chris Caan in a wig.
Maybe.
All right.
But let's enjoy Santa's Sleigh.
While we're about to get into Santa's Sleigh, stay tuned.
Grandpa, I want the truth about Christmas.
If it's the truth you want, then it's the scary truth you're gonna have.
According to the Book of Claus, Santa, Satan's only son, lost a bet and was forced to spread Christmas cheer. But now, all bets are off.
Santa? Yes, there is a Santa Claus. Ho, ho, hoes.
Santa Claus is not a myth or a legend. He's real. Only he's not bearing gifts and presents anymore.
Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people.
He's scary yet educational.
I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear.
Are you saying Santa is offing everyone who's naughty and nice?
Nicholas shot him!
You shot Santa?
Run away! Santa's on the loose!
This holiday season,
Ho, ho, ho.
lock your doors. Bolt the windows.
Oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Everyone stand back. Things are about to get a little messy.
And block the chimney. 'Cause naughty or nice, Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa's Sleigh.
Go ahead, kids. Let's see what Santa got you.
I hate children.
And we're back.
We are back. Wow.
Yes. Yes.
So the name of the show is SchlockFest.
SchlockFest. Schlocky. This film was schlocky.
Yeah. And although, if I were to sum it up in 2 words, casual racism.
Casual racism.
I love how Christmas movies bring out casual racism.
There was a lot of casual racism. What we normally do, Mikey, in our thing is we kind of start at the beginning and then give a recap of the movie and then talk about it as we go along. Right?
So casual racism was jumping the gun a little bit.
Just a little bit, but you're not wrong. From the get-go, this thing is... I was just like, what the fuck am I watching here? But, so, for our listeners, right off the jump, I have to say, out of all the movies we've watched, I really think that this one might be the single worst movie I've seen.
Worse than Schlock?
I would rather watch Schlock again than have to watch this movie again.
Worse than Sgt. Pepper's.
I would watch Sgt. Pepper's again before I watch this again.
Worse than Spice Girls.
I like Spice Girls.
You finally admitted it.
I don't like it.
You love the Spice World.
So let's start at the top. They build this cast, right?
Oh yeah.
Of just like pretty B-level talent, but for that time period, kind of high level, right?
Firmly in the B category.
Yeah, I mean, but
James Caan is not a B.
James Caan is not a B, but he has become one, right? But all these, you're like looking at these people and you're like Fran Drescher, James Caan,
peak Chris Kattan,
right? Fish Eyes,
Rebecca Gayheart.
Yeah, she's now the Geico Gecko. It's cool,
right? And you're thinking, man, this movie's going to be just chocked full of these people during. It's an hour and 40-minute movie, right? So you're going to be like seeing them. No. This movie opens with the craziest opening I've ever seen to a film. I mean, what did you think?
It is straight up Punisher. What Warzone?
Yeah.
Death. Dining room death scene.
It's So James Caan and his fucked up family.
His fucked up family,
are sitting
indeed.
down to eat Christmas dinner. Chris Kattan is finger banging
his mother,
Fran Drescher, who's his stepmom.
We don't know his stepmom.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Under the table, while his wife looks on and talks about how he's not a man. And then I have to say, James Caan gave the best line in the movie when he said to Chris Kattan, "Listen, you half a fag. I'll stick this fork in your fucking eye. Grow some balls." That was the best line in the movie.
And again, what I like about it is half a fag.
Yeah.
We don't want to be totally discriminatory.
Right.
It's a holiday movie. For the love of fucking Christ. Right. It's a holiday movie. Don't go balls deep and call him a full-on queen.
Yeah, so they're arguing at the dinner table, just shit's going bad. And then all of a sudden down the chimney comes old Saint Nick, and he starts murdering this family.
He McMurders it.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the other best line in this little group was Gayheart. As Santa goes to slaughter her, she goes, "But I've been good."
They actually, it's, "I've been nice."
I've been nice, and he beats the shit out of her. I mean, just a bloodbath. Kills everybody in the fucking room, and then it goes to the opening, and I was like, I mean, it just goes to the credits to where you're like starting the movie, and I'm like, you killed all of your top billed actors in one fucking scene in the first 4 minutes of the movie. I don't know. It just shocked me.
It really made me wonder how much they paid for those people.
Right.
I mean, considering the original Christmas music they wrote for this, you obviously know where their budgetary concerns were.
Yes.
Through the entire thing.
It was getting James Caan and his fucking half a fag line.
Look, Brett Ratner must know a lot of secrets to get this cast together.
We were talking about it, listeners, and I'm pretty sure that Jean-Paul's onto something. Brett Ratner is holding secrets over these people. I mean, it was insane to me. I was like, who would do this? I don't care. Say they gave them $10,000 a piece. Are you really hard up for that $10,000?
$10,000?
You know?
Hey, Pickens has been slim since he left Saturday Night Live, all right? Like, Will Ferrell only makes so many movies they can let him in. So, we just throw it out there.
Just shocking. So that's the opening of the movie. Then we get introduced to some new characters in the town called Hell.
Hell Township.
Hell Township. And it's just this deli with this mean old bitch. she's screaming at the Jewish guy that's running the deli about how he's a fucking asshole.
And more casual racism.
Yeah.
More
Casual racism and peppered in. She goes out of her way 4 times to call him a Jew, you know? And he is Jewish, but it was just weird, you know? Like, so she wanted a sandwich. Mr. Green, which is Sal Rubinek.
Fine actor.
Fine actor. Again, terrific actor. I don't know what he's doing in this movie.
I mean, for actually, around the same time, wasn't he a part of Frasier?
Could have been. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Viewers, if you'd like to look that up for us, we don't, or listeners, we don't really like to do work here at the show. So
comment below how terrible our facts are.
And again, I kind of value like what Google thinks of me, so I will never Google search Frasier. Like, quite honestly, like I want Google to think I'm straight for as long as humanly possible, just so you're all aware. Like,
don't you want none of that tossed salad and scrambled eggs?
Like he's straight and under 65 for as long as I can. I've got a Tinder profile to maintain, people. All right, like just saying.
Oh, come on, say it's a grinder profile. We all know. But so that was crazy. Was she's just casually screaming at these people? They give her a sandwich for a discount. Then they take more money off of it. She throws a bunch of quarters on the counter, grabs a sandwich, tells everybody to go fuck themselves, and leaves. Then then the old Jewish guy gives everybody the night off, gives them a couple of Christmas gifts, which was weird because he's Jewish yet again.
Yeah.
You know, like.
It just goes to show the superiority of our holidays over theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, really, is the point they're trying to make, despite demonic Santa Claus.
Yeah. So then the old bitch gets in her car and she's taken off, driving home, and then we get introduced to Santa yet again and his sleigh. And this is where Jean-Paul caught me off guard. Santa's sleigh not pulled by reindeer.
No.
Oh no.
No, pulled by what? One white buffalo.
One giant white buffalo.
Named Berserker.
One giant white buffalo that was painted white.
It was jarring, to say the least, because I wasn't expecting it. And I'm
Was
like,
that really the most jarring moment in this movie?
Up to that point.
Was that the...
I
don't know, the opening's pretty jarring.
Chris Kattan finger blasting his mom. Like,
that's not jarring at all.
First off,
he called half a bag.
he was finger blasting Fran Drescher, and we can all relate.
Can we?
Could you imagine the noise that she would make? Like, I'm just picturing that.
I would just put headphones in. I'd do her. That's what I'm saying. I would do Fran Drescher. Would she do me? I think that's
absolutely
the question.
not.
Probably
Well, you know what? She did this movie, so there's always a chance.
I have to string together whatever kind of money she would make. But yeah, so I mean, you're right. Okay, it wasn't the most jarring.
But it was jarring.
But it was jarring nonetheless, the giant fucking white buffalo.
Yes.
And Goldberg looks like a Viking.
Well, because it is the Norse
version of
mythology.
Yeah, but it was just, I was like, what the hell is happening here?
But I will say this: it starts off, the people that he's killing do deserve to die.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, much like the Punisher, he's doing the Lord's work.
Yes.
Like
he really is.
I felt pretty good when I watched the old woman die. I'm not gonna lie, I smiled more than a little.
I hated her so much that I actually went, yeah. She deserved to, because he wrecks her car. I guess
He does. Yeah. He runs into her.
Yeah.
And we find out that Santa in this movie is a fan of the ludicrous.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, "Move, get out the way, bitch."
Now, the funny thing about that is the giant white buffalo, and I'm going to give you guys a little spoiler, a little teaser to happen. It rams the car and runs it off the road. A little later, that same white buffalo will ram a teenage girl in the back on a snowmobile to no effect.
Yeah.
So,
it's magic.
It's I think it's losing its magic by that point.
We'll get to that.
There's some suspension of disbelief here that we're going to all have to subscribe to. I just want to prepare you that things that the physics of this world might not maintain.
So our heroine and our hero are this boy and girl that work in this deli, and the boy, he has, and Mikey, you pointed this out, he has the best sweatshirt on I've ever seen. It's a hockey shirt.
It's like a college. It's like a SD or SWSD
Right.
SU.
But their slogan was the fighting insurance salesman.
Yes.
Which made me laugh when he pointed it out. So, but the thing I wanted to point out about this it's your typical kind of teen romance a little where he's not too sure of himself, but he's like to the extreme with it. She comes over to his house, to give him a Christmas gift, and she's got this little mini skirt on, clearly asking
for a
gets under
finger
the
blast.
covers with him. Yeah.
That is my word for the day.
Little Christmas.
For the callback of the original part of this movie.
Clearly asking for a finger blast, as Mikey would put it. But yeah, she was down to fuck. Grandpa goes to bed, who we're introduced to in this little.
Yes, but let's go back. Let's talk about Grandpa.
And
we'll talk about Grandpa.
Right.
And talk about the relationship for a minute.
Yeah.
They worked in a meat shop together, and he still didn't get the point. Like,
Right.
how many euphemisms can there be when you're handing out?
Not to mention,
Yeah.
on a whim, he said, when I was a kid, all I wanted was a transformer.
Yeah, that's right.
And she came and brought him
The Transformer.
or a fun gift.
And actually reverse, because he has a little shitty scooter that he's trying to ride the snow, and she gives him a ride, but he keeps going, no, I don't want to get in the truck. I'm like, this hot young girl is asking you to get in the truck, and you're a 16-year-old boy, and you're going, no, I'm going to ride my scooter.
I know,
No.
like that's where the stranger danger alarm went off.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, dude, she's not offering you lollipops.
You got your fighting salesman shirt on, and you're going, no, I'm riding my scooter home.
But he gives her a gun.
Well, no, she
gives him a gun. I'm sorry.
She does. She comes over, gives him a Christmas gift. He opens it. It's a gun, which leads to one of the best lines.
Well, one of the best lines in this movie. Flat out, he goes, "Are you fucking retarded?"
Yeah.
Because apparently this kid is also MacGyver and anti-gun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get to that. It's like he's never even seen how a gun works ever in his life. But he opens the gun up because she's like, no, it's a transformer. You said you wanted one. And it's a gun transformer.
Yeah.
Because her dad is a fucking gun nut, apparently.
He's part of the NRA.
Yeah, part of the NRA. And gave her this gun as a kid. So he's got his transformer. But we find out about Grandpa that he is a fucking, like, Doc Brown inventor, but he invents shit that nobody would want in their entire life.
Like shit that's already been invented.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he did invent, brown toilet paper, and come on.
Brown toilet paper,
is a great
portable
invention.
record player,
Yeah.
and a nutcracker gun.
Yeah.
And a book page turner.
Right.
And he's got a panic room and or gimp room, whatever you want to think.
That's
in the basement.
He has a panic room that then goes into another room.
Yes.
And you're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's a giant map of God knows where on his wall.
And of course, with all the safes and things he has, like that he keeps Christmas books in or things of the family history.
He kept the Book of Claws.
Again, we talked about it. Makes you wonder where he keeps his porn.
Right, which led us to imagine if you're hiding your Christmas books, probably leaving the porn right out on the table.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't want you to know about my Christmas reading.
That's right.
But check out all those dicks over there.
Yeah. But I mean, this was an important plot point. Grandpa had to tell him the story of Claus.
By the way, this goes into the paper mache stop motion animation.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's classic Christmas. You can't not have that.
Because, well, before all of that, we are told that, Jesus Christ was born of a virgin. But so was Santa Claus, because he is Satan's child.
Which makes you wonder why Satan would want to have a child born of a virgin. If there's one thing I thought Satan was good with, was getting laid.
Yeah.
Like, I thought fornication was one of the things that got you into hell.
Yeah.
So, but what they're saying is Santa Claus is the Antichrist. That's what they're saying.
I would agree that's what they're hinting.
Yeah, I mean, certainly. That or Jewish people, because they were really anti-Jewish people.
Yeah, they were really mean to Jewish people. In this
But Goldberg is a Jew!
I get that, but it still seems
that's why it's
unnecessary.
self-hating. I mean, some of them even worked for the Nazis. It's self-preservation, man. I'm just saying.
I don't understand. If I was Jewish and reading the script, I'd be like, hey guys, do you think maybe we could take one of the 7 Jew jokes out in the first 7 minutes?
Yeah. Could we tone down the racial slurs just a titch?
Like, we're already going to murder a lot of people and make jokes. Do we really need this corned beef joke? But anyways, also Christmas music over this movie too. I have to say,
phenomenal.
You pointed this out. It was like they wanted Run DMC and couldn't get them, so they made their own Run DMC.
Yeah, they made their own rap. They made their own Christmas. You know,
it was
all of the holiday classics. I will be writing Brett Ratner for a copy of the soundtrack.
You could write him in care of some penitentiary.
Some penitentiary, allegedly.
Allegedly. But okay. So back to the plot. So the kid, his grandpa's telling the story. It's a papier-mâché story about Santa was evil for the first 1,000 years, and the devil and this angel had this bet, and it was basically a curling game gone awry. If you want to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, basically he challenged him to a curling match, and if he lost, then he would have to make Christmas a fun, festive holiday
for 1,000 years.
1,000 years. So this happened in 1005.
Yeah.
So then this takes place in 2005,
which is 1,000 years.
1,000 years. Meaning that Santa is free to kill again in 2005.
And so that's what we find out is why is Santa killing people? Because he's able to now.
Yeah, because he's been harnessing that rage
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah,
I mean,
he had to put up with every one of your stupid fucking letters.
And he, somewhere in there, again, skipping forward, he makes a little awkward joke about Mrs. Claus, which makes you wonder if Santa was really like a demon. Like, was there really a Mrs. Claus? Like, I mean, like,
right.
Again, unanswered question. They don't get back to it. I'm waiting for the sequel to see what...
Here's what I imagine. It's one of those relationships like in Cops, the TV show Cops, where she's constantly going, I know he hits me, but I still love him.
He loves my milk and cookies.
Yes. He comes back every year. I don't know.
I don't know.
So I think she's going to maybe be pivotal in the sequels. But so the paper mache thing happens. Like I said, the girl's over at the house. The old man decides to go to bed. It's prime now. The kid's going to make his move, you think. And instead, he yells at her or makes her leave.
Yeah.
Because that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
He got scared. He was nervous and said, "Get out of here."
I'm detecting that old Jean-Paul over here had that happen.
Yeah,
In your youth, you got nervous. She was like, "Hey, let me touch your pepe," and you're like, "Fuck you, get out of here, bitch."
You know what? It's because he probably looked at her hands and said, you know what, I value the fact you don't have hairy palms. And I know what that leads to, all right? I've heard the urban myths.
There you go.
Well,
hairy palms.
Emily DeRaven, I gotta say, that Emily DeRaven, she plays the girlfriend, Mary Mac McKenzie. And let me tell you, she's the best actor in this fucking movie, in my opinion. She actually, I believe she was in danger for most of this film. Not only from her quasi-boyfriend.
But also for her career?
But her career. I mean, seriously, her parents had to be cringing when they premiered this. Like, oh, we got to get a new agent. But she was great. But so, I'm just saying, so she's kind of believable. She seems to get pissed off and leaves. She's like, you got my number, motherfucker. I'm out. So he goes back to reading the book. Then it cuts, and we get to meet our other new character.
The priest.
The priest, right?
Played by Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas, not of Wendy's fame.
But of Bob and Doug McKenzie's fame.
Yes.
I wish it was Dave Thomas of Wendy's.
Right,
I was just picturing that because it would play so much better.
We get him, and he's in this church, and he's railing against how people don't give enough in the fucking Christmas season. People are putting change in the collection plate, and he's like, I want dollar bills in there. And then it cuts. And it shows him, he's going into a strip club with all the dollar bills.
Called the Gold Digger.
The Gold Digger.
Rolling in his Mercedes.
Yeah, rolled up in his Mercedes.
Mercedes SUV, too. So I mean...
That's some loot. I mean, that's a good church.
And again, that's probably some loot that this movie had some kind of budget to rent a Mercedes SUV.
Yeah, I mean, that's at least $189 for a day.
At least.
I mean, like, that was a one-take shot they had to go with.
And that's if you're driving it yourself.
Yeah.
If you're renting it through a company that drives you, it might actually be cheaper.
Maybe. Maybe. This is before Uber. And Uber XL.
Wait a minute, hold on. Life existed before Uber?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hey, shout out to Hardin County because they don't have Uber.
Oh, what do they have?
They don't have Lyft. They don't have anything.
Oh, what do they have? They have fuck you.
They have yellow taxi cab service has like one cab.
Do they have fuck you?
They have fuck you.
Fuck you. The one cop in our town, he's over there. He won't pull us over.
But I'm telling you, I was literally just disappointed and shocked when my sister told me this, that they don't have it. Because, and just think about it. There's a town of like 5,000 people, right?
Somebody's got to be getting drunk somewhere to need a ride.
And instead they're just driving themselves home.
Well, that's how they keep the town at 5,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had Uber, they might have like 8,000 people because none of those people would have died on drunk driving.
That's true. So shout out to Hardin County. So now our priest he's getting lap dances. He's spending all that coffer money. And then Santa rolls up in his sleigh. And Mike, what happens?
Well, first of all, he gives the sleigh to the valet and throws him a key. Now, again, the sleigh is, I guess, powered by a reindeer, so it makes you wonder where... Buffalo, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder where the key goes in order to make it run. I'm throwing that out there. And at which point, Goldberg... Santa walks himself into the bar after choking out the man in the front and killing him with some very powerful Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to buy garland, folks, just make sure that it breaks when somebody tries to choke you with it, because you never know.
You never know.
So he goes in there and then proceeds to lay waste to the strip club when they won't let him get a little frisky with the dancers.
Right.
I mean, there was mistletoe, so he had to get some kind of...
Yeah, and this is your point where you see the boobs in the movie. Feel free to pause.
We
None of them are real.
We saw some good ones, though. There were some good ones in there. There's some.
I mean, none of them are real, but that's okay.
But Jean-Paul made us aware this is where Goldberg met his real-life wife.
Yeah. There was a nice little stripper on a swing and goes right inside Goldberg's face.
Yeah.
So
happy marriage.
Yeah.
They can rewatch this movie every year at Christmas time.
It's like their wedding video.
There you go, yeah. Like, let's rewatch our favorite scene in Santa's sleigh. How we met. I mean, it's a better story than How I Met Your Mother. Oh! No, too soon?
I never watched that show.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, let me tell you.
Don't ruin it for me.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
It's Robin Sparkles.
It's a whole lie the whole time. Like the show Lost. But I bring up Lost for a reason.
Quit bringing up shit I love.
I bring up Lost for a reason. Not because I know how much you love the show.
Because it was better than this?
No, because the wonderful actress, Mary, or Emily Raven, was in Lost from 2004 till 2010.
No shit, she was the Australian girl that was pregnant.
That's correct, sir.
Oh my god, I kept thinking, I know this broad. Well, she looks so different and out of work.
Well, this was during the height of Lost.
God, she was...
So during a break of Lost, she decided, I'm going to do Santa's Sleigh.
No, this was probably filmed like 2 years before that, like in like 2003, and then released.
Right.
And again, this goes back to Bill Goldberg quit wrestling to do this. Like, this is what he chose to do. So for anyone who thinks that Vince McMahon doesn't have power, he does. Okay? Because, like, seriously, this is what these guys would be doing if not for Vince McMahon. Praise be him.
You're welcome.
Praise be him.
All right, so let's go back. So they get done with the carnage of the strip club.
Yeah.
There is one great scene in this scene of carnage is where Santa is about to impale somebody with the stripper pole.
Yes.
But before he does that,
he cleans it off.
He cleans it off. He just took a woman to the face.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of other things.
But
he decides, because I'm going to touch the dirty, infested pole, I'm going to have to clean it first.
He really did, too. He wiped it down, and ripped it out, and stabbed this guy with it.
Yeah.
Or, no, he gave it to them, and the dude...
And then he shocked him.
Yeah, and then he jammed it up into the light socket. Because that's the way electricity works.
Yeah.
Again, suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, cartoon physics.
Yeah.
So, and then he turns around as he's getting ready to leave the strip club, pulls out a lump of coal, sets it on fire with his fire breath, and says, "You've all been naughty," and throws it onto the ground, and the place goes up in flames.
Which, again, the strippers do get out because the priest is in there and he gets out too.
Yeah.
But again, I have to feel like some of those strippers at least caught a cold, and that's horrible for their work.
Right.
I mean, like, the last thing you want is a snotty lap dance.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I might pay extra for that.
Wrong portions are wet there.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I was the guy that I went to a strip club once called the $50 Million Saloon in Canada, and their slogan was 49 beautiful women and one ugly one, and I had the lap dance from the ugly one. Because I that was the novelty to me.
Well, you're welcome. I mean,
I hope it cost less. Like, I hope
it
was
was cheap as fuck, dude.
like it was discounted.
It was like whatever one of their nickels were. So it wasn't very good.
So to our neighbors up north, you're welcome.
Yeah. So
yay NAFTA.
Yeah. But anyways, I digress. Strip club is burned down now. Santa's out on the prowl for more murder. He goes into town and decides to stop at our favorite deli. And what happens, Jean-Paul?
It's a very sad moment in the movie.
More casual racism.
More casual racism.
Yeah.
It's a very sad moment.
He kills him with the fucking menorah.
But before he impales him with a menorah, he does try to save himself by flashing the light of the Star of David.
Yeah, that's it. I did write down a tiny star does not work.
The tiny Star of David does not work.
Yeah.
Yet again, another knock against the Jewish faith. I don't know what they're trying to say here.
Yeah.
Except I do know what they're trying to say. And it's horrible. Okay. Absolutely horrible.
So he stabs him with the menorah, grabs a sandwich, I believe, because he's eating something.
Yeah.
Looks in the picture.
Potato salad. He came in there for potato salad. That's what it was.
Solely for potato
Some of that old Jewish potato salad you've heard so much about. So he goes in, he gets potato salad, he's eating it, looks at the wall and sees our hero, the young teenage kid who's on the wall of like best employee of the month or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know that's where he's going next. Well, the kid hears on the radio that there's been an attack. He goes there, finds his boss stabbed to death with the menorah,
But he tries to help him.
Tries to pull the menorah out of his neck.
Because that's similar to Steve Irwin, the way he died.
Yeah, he goes,
you just pull it out.
But Mr. Green gasps, Santa's real. and dies.
Yeah, it's very much like
a sad moment.
It's very much like you are, there is another Skywalker, fade out. Like,
there
just
is another Skywalker.
Boosh.
What'd you say?
And at this point, the cops, show up and take our hero to jail.
They make a bunch of Jewish jokes.
They do.
And then they take some Hasidic Jews to jail for no reason.
These Hasidic Jews off the street.
Who they call Amish.
They call them the Amish people. They say, grab those Amish people, too. They get him down to the station. Our hero makes his phone call to his little girlfriend, who comes to rescue him, get him out of there. This is where we have the setup for a great dick joke.
Several dick jokes.
Yeah. Because the police chief's name is Caulk.
Caulk.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other police chief's name is Bush.
Bush.
So she, as he's waiting on his girlfriend, he asks one of the detectives. He's like, "So who do you work for? You prefer Bush or Cock?" And he's like, "Oh, I like Cock." Well, have you ever tried Bush? No, I wouldn't be a fan.
But I love
Cock.
And if you're thinking that they had to reach for this setup, oh no, they literally show you the pictures and start right into it.
Yeah.
So no memory is required for this joke to actually take place.
So you know who Bush and Cock is?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that goes on for like literally 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Then the girl shows up, right?
After he talks to the police chief, and the police chief tells him he's batshit crazy.
Yeah, he just says that you and your grandpa are fucking weirdos, basically. And so the girl shows up, she gets him out, and they go looking for. Wait, no.
They're going back to Grandpa's house.
That's right. Yeah, they go back to Grandpa's house,
and they have a T2 style.
Yeah,
like
Santa
chase scene.
shows up at the police station and murders everybody like Terminator style, and then chases them down like din din din, and they're driving away in the truck. This is where old dude. He gets in this shotgun, and now I'm not very well versed with guns. I've shot many over my life, but I would know just from watching movies that an old style shotgun breaks down the barrel and the shell goes in.
How do you do it though?
It has a button on it, or most of them have a release that's on the side.
Yeah, but I'm talking. The guy didn't know. He just kept like, well, how do I do this?
He was like, how do I do this? And she's like, oh, you've got to open it up. And he's like he had never fucking seen a movie with a gun in it ever.
Yeah.
Then he shoots Santa.
Yeah, so he puts the cartridge in, shoots Santa off the back of the truck, and we're like, oh, okay, he's clearly impervious to bullets.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Well, of course Santa would be. I mean, why not? I mean, the only thing Santa's not impervious to is diabetes.
Yeah,
at this point, I think.
Not this Santa.
So he's chasing them back. They get to Grandpa's house. They go to the bunker. Grandpa explains a little bit more of what's going on, that they basically have until the North Pole's midnight, which is 4 hours from the time that they get there, to stall this guy, Santa, so that he becomes mortal and weaker or whatever. Now Santa shows up, but the Christmas carolers show up, and I'll let you talk about that.
So good old Christmas carolers, they have the little Tiny Tim, they have everybody all dressed up and everything. And Santa McMurders them.
Oh yeah, he just fucking destroys them. And then he breaks into the house, chases, and just knows. I was telling Mikey this. I'm like, he just knew. He was like, "There's a whole house." He goes, "Nah, I think I'm gonna start in the basement, work my way up,
go in the bunker.
Probably have a bunker down there."
Oh yeah, no.
Gets down there. The bunker door is hidden by this giant map. Just knows, rips the map off the wall. Starts kicking the fucking metal door down, which was crazy. So they go through this other passageway out to the garage.
Which again makes you wonder, if it's a panic room, how good of a panic room is it if there's multiple ways in?
Yeah, exactly.
And really it's not really a panic room as much as a laundry room.
Yeah.
Because I do believe there's a washer and a dryer.
Probably.
Yeah. He's got some old-timey monitors. It was fucking weird. But anyways, they get out. He's got two lawnmower-looking snowmobiles. One won't start. The other one starts up right away, as you do. Santa goes back out through the house into the front, comes back around, and this is where we get our first glimpse that maybe Grandpa is a little bit more important than we thought.
Maybe.
Maybe he's not just a Doc Brown type. Maybe he is part of the legend.
Maybe, but
we don't know for sure.
We don't.
So we have some hint because the paper mache animation that we had earlier looked a lot like Grandpa.
But we're not sure.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We're not sure though. That could have just been done because they were lazy.
So, as Grandpa is telling his kids to get out of there, take the one that works and get out. The giant buffalo shows up and tramples Grandpa. To which Goldberg says,
Santa got run over by a reindeer.
No, Grandpa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Grandpa.
Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Yeah.
Which was funny because it wasn't a reindeer, it was a buffalo.
It was a buffalo.
Yeah, and the song is Grandma.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of things wrong with that, but they really stretched their way to it.
Yeah.
So I admire the...
They tried.
Yeah.
I just tried.
They gave it a shot. So, anyways, then you think, well, maybe Grandpa's not dead until Santa Goldberg walks over and squashes his head like a fucking grape.
He just stomped on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's called the double tap rule.
The kids run away on the fucking snowmobile. They run out into the woods. Santa's chasing them on a sleigh, throwing box bombs.
Yeah.
The kids' big idea is to get to the local high school that's clearly been closed for Christmas break. To what?
Hide.
Santa hates chemistry class?
Yeah, he doesn't like school?
Yeah.
I don't know. So they get there and they're like, we have to hide it. And we got 58 minutes. So they want you to believe that it took them almost 4 hours, 3 hours basically.
Driving around in a snowmobile, not running out of gas.
Right, to get to the high school. Now they're down to 58 minutes to run out. They break in the school. They go and hide in the library, as you would, because Santa Goldberg probably doesn't read.
Why would he?
But he fucking finds them because this is ridiculous. They knock a book over, do the classic Scooby-Doo, you know, right?
Zoinks.
They fight each other for like a solid minute or two. He throws a fucking grenade in that has like a...
It was a Christmas ornament.
Christmas
smoke
ornament,
bomb.
smoke bomb. They run out and into the hallway, and down this corridor, and into the gymnasium that's...
A hockey rink.
A hockey rink.
How very Nordic of them.
You have a hockey rink in every high school, don't you?
Now they're getting ready to have their first kiss, and in comes Santa on a Zamboni.
They're gonna get murdered on a Zamboni.
Yeah, and he makes another quip, which I can't remember what it was.
Oh, something about the kid shining the flashlight in his eyes.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm Santa, not a vampire."
Yeah, that's right. He goes,
that was.
I'm Santa, not fucking Dracula.
Yes.
Which made me laugh.
It was funny.
Which again, I never thought the flashlight thing worked on Dracula either. But then again, like,
why not?
Why not? Right. So that fucking happens. Then all of a sudden, your confirmations come true. Grandpa is an angel. He's the angel, the Archangel Yule Brenner. And he's there to have a showdown. We're gonna have a showdown.
And so he challenges him again.
Yeah. He says, this time though, the stakes are higher. I want you to be good forever. And to which Santa says, watch this shit, stomps on the ice, giant hole to hell opens up. Hellmouth. And he says, I'm going to throw your ass in there, and you're going to be damned for all of eternity if you lose. So then they go to do the game again, which is a game, what's the game called? Curling. And our angel, Yule, slides his down, it gets right to the fucking edge. And you're like, oh, wow, he might win. This might be the end here.
Yeah, like a little anticlimactic because
because the whole time you're like, oh, this is going to get crazy.
Yeah.
And what better way to emasculate a teenage boy than to have his 70-year-old grandpa come in and solve the problem, and then and then he goes and makes out with the girl. I mean, it would just be it would be totally weird, but
that would be a very Ash move.
But I'm not gonna lie.
Save the day again. Give me some sugar, baby.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. After seeing the way this movie ended, I'd be a lot more intrigued by that ending.
Yeah.
Just for all the questions it raised.
So what is you think Santa Goldberg is going to do? He starts to get his little, I don't even know, metal container.
It's looks like a teapot.
Yeah, teapot. Ready to slide, and then instead he grabs up Yule and just throws his ass in the hole. Caught me off guard.
Yeah.
At which point, our young hero shows himself the ever practical minded and pulls out from his backpack of wonder that he's wearing around a nutcracker, the nutcracker that fires bullets that his grandpa angel made for him, and shoots Goldberg
with a nut.
With a nut right in the chest.
And it gets, Goldberg shoots a flame out of his mouth, and it meets it, so it gets on fire. When it hits him, he says, chestnut. Get it? Because it hits him in the chest?
Yeah.
Roasting on an open fire?
There you go. Oh, okay.
So...
Happy holidays.
Now we think that Santa Goldberg's dead. So they hear, help me, and Grandpa is just hanging on for dear life at the edge of the hole. So they go over to help him out. Santa Goldberg, not dead, hops back up on the Zamboni, rides that sumbitch right out. The school must be made of just plywood. Just goes right through the fucking wall.
And then the Zamboni just keeps riding right on the grass.
Yeah.
Like just...
Don't think they're made for that.
Yeah. Didn't think that could happen.
Yeah. So hey. So he's out and about now. They save Grandpa. Grandpa throws the teapot kettle into the hole, says some magic words, and the hole disappears. Or maybe I just added the magic words.
Yeah. And then they all go to leave, but Grandpa for some reason can't leave the gymnasium, even though he's an angel.
He is bound by the bet. See, you guys didn't realize he's bound by the bet because he didn't actually win, and Santa didn't win yet, so he's bound.
Where are you getting this explanation from? Like nowhere did they cover this explanation.
Yeah, that was
like there's a lot of inferring going on here.
How many times have you watched this and just fucking? What do you have, like a chart somewhere? If I open that drawer up over there, is it like a bunch of string conditioning?
Look, that's where I keep all of my secret layer locked up about Santa's sleigh.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like literally, they don't cover any of that. It's just like, no, kids can't come with you. Looks like you're off to face the demon. Peace.
Yeah, he was just like, oh, I'm done. Bye.
I can't.
Headcanon is a wonderful thing.
He did a little mime thing up against an open wall, and he's like,
can't go.
Yeah, which again. Is Goldberg Santa or the Kool-Aid Man in this? Because there are a lot of scenes that he burst into. Like red suit bursting through walls.
Well, and then that leads to the other dumbest part of this movie, if it could get any dumber.
But wait, it gets stupider.
They chase. The big plan is to go find this girl's parents. Whatever. Okay, so they're all at this fucking gun range on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're hunting, and an Indian is leading them. And I don't mean an Indian guru. I mean a fucking Native American. And he's got one of those vocal things from smoking too much.
And he's a chain smoker. Again, just short of being an alcoholic for the stereotype.
Yeah, it was like Stereotype City. And he goes...
Casual racism.
She was like, yeah, I've come here. You guys want to kill a flying reindeer. And they just fucking believe him out of nowhere. They're like, oh, yeah, I'd like to do that. Where do you find one of those? Oh, it's right. Hold on, I'm going to blow this whistle.
And they don't even blow the whistle. She just...
Yeah, just whistles. Whistle. And in comes Goldberg on his fucking sleigh with the buffalo. They're all firing away at it with these crazy old-timey repeater guns. Why they would have that? Not like you said, an
AR-15. Yeah, that's what real NRA members have. I mean, doesn't anybody watch the news?
Budget. I'm just saying.
I'm just sitting there what the fuck? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, rocket launcher. They have budget for a rocket launcher.
Yeah, actually, it was a bazooka.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, I'm very
sorry. There's a difference.
Explain to me. I mean, you can explain the finer points of the event. Between, oh no, this is why he can't leave.
Yeah, what's the difference?
But Santa can leave. He's fine, but the angel can't.
What's the difference?
The difference is Bazooka was a character from G.I. Joe.
he also had his own chewing gum.
He also had his chewing gum, Joe.
All right. So you don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway, this bazooka shoots off and blows up the fucking sleigh. And there's little pieces of something all over the place.
Yeah, the reindeer, the buffalo deer.
But they showed it later, and it was almost intact.
Yeah, strapped to the hood of a car.
So anyways, and then they find that Santa Goldberg had also kidnapped the preacher who was dressed as Santa, and he's impaled and just for no reason
on the American flag.
On the American flag.
Yeah.
So America.
So and then the kids all are like, "Oh, all's well that ends well," and they kiss finally.
Finally, yeah. He grows some stones.
Yeah,
or actually she did, but
they go off to do their thing, and
the kid vows to fight Santa because now he has like the family Christmas album.
Yeah,
and that's like, what it's going to take.
The Book of Claus.
The Book of Claus, and then you're like, oh, is this piece of shit over? And then it goes.
The answer is no.
To an airport. Where we see Goldberg, and he's got some sort of motorcycle cut on, which is weird because I don't think he's in a motorcycle gang. And I'm pretty sure real motorcycle guys get pissed off about that kind of stuff. But it's cool because he's Goldberg, I guess. And he's buying a ticket to Nome, Alaska, or wherever the fuck.
Winnipeg first, and then we're going to the North Pole.
Yeah. And the lady is trying to fuck with him, and I'm like, why are you trying to fuck with him? Clearly he looks angry, like he might murder people, He goes and sits down, and that's how the movie ends.
And so it leaves me with one big question.
Yes.
At what point do you think they stopped caring during this?
I gotta say, after the dinner scene.
Were they just like, that's our load, we shot it, we're done.
I think after James Caan got killed at the beginning, they're like, oh, we're done with this.
Look, I want to start the GoFundMe page, or whatever you call that. I would like some help. I'm going to make the sequels to this movie. Santa Sleigh 1 through 6. I imagine Goldberg now. I can get him on the cheap.
Well, okay.
I can even get James Caan probably on the cheap now.
Okay, so I'd say a 1 out of 10 scale. I would give this movie a 1. I'm not kidding you.
1 as an incredibly awesome.
1 as like I watched it once and that will never happen again.
Oh, okay.
Mikey, 1 out of 10.
You know what? I'm going to go like a 3.5 because it is not the worst thing I have ever seen. I can't name the worst thing I've ever seen off the top of my head because I drink a lot and I try to suppress those memories, but certainly not the worst. And again, I have to admit, the casual racism for comedy effect kind of warms on me. It's kind of like Bad Santa, but with a really bad Santa.
Right,
for real.
Without any of the irony.
This movie was a lot better than Bad Santa.
Okay.
A lot better than that annoying movie that people love so much, Elf.
Well, all right. What did you give it?
Look, I've seen this movie like 10 times.
Oh my
I want to write the sequels to this movie.
So you would give it a perfect 10.
This is a perfect 10 out of 10.
And I'm only doing the rating thing because I know Frank is going to do this as like a companion piece.
Oh, it's companion.
Probably with the last Roundup horror show.
Yes,
because they're also watching this for.
And I hope you guys enjoy this movie as much as I do. But I gotta
tell you, for me as a SchlockFest movie where you're making me watch it, I would never watch this voluntarily.
Once a year, we are going to watch this.
I would never watch it again.
I think you would enjoy it.
I wouldn't.
You would be like begging for it. That's why the sequels would be.
I'd rather
what
watch
you would
Thanksgiving again.
Thanksgiving was a wonderful classic. Thanksgiving horror movie. You don't get any of those many. Thanksgiving 3.
Yeah.
We still have to see
We
what
still
happens.
Gotta watch that at some point.
And again, this raises all the questions of happened in 2005. Santa's been out killing every year for 13 years, and not one interesting story about it.
Unchecked.
Yeah.
Until I write what will happen and what has happened.
Jean-Paul is on it.
So we'll start the GoFundMe page.
Right.
Please give sparingly. Goldberg, I imagine, costs about $500 to get him in a movie now.
Well, I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of our listeners. It's been a great year. We've had very, very much fun for doing this for the last 6 months. And I just want to thank you all for listening. If you're from a different country, again, comment, queries in the comment section. Tell us how you
complain.
Complain. We did get our facts right. Yeah.
Troll me some more. It's cool.
But I also want to thank Mikey for coming.
Oh, early and often, all the time. That's what I do. That's what the lady
sounds like I'll be torturing some more people in the new year.
But this has been fun, and this has been our Christmas episode. May Yuletide blessings find your family and
Ho, ho, ho.
and shoot a
motherfucker.
hot load all over them, a hot holiday load.
I have
You and Fran Drescher.
Yeah.
Merry everything. Happy New Year's.
May you finger blast Fran Drescher.
This has been
Shalom.
SchlockFest.
Yes.
This has been SchlockFest. Stay tuned.